Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to lead today's Human Rights Day commemoration in the Northern Cape. Ramaphosa will deliver the keynote address at the West De Aar Stadium. Newzroom Afrika's Mohlaoli is there for us ahead of that address and joins us live. Good morning, Tumaole. Great to see you. The President giving that address just before midday today, as I understand it. Several issues that he will no doubt touch on: the historical significance of this Human Rights Day, which we call Sharpeville Day, and also, of course, it's a day after the EFF's national shutdown. That has to form part of what he has to say today.
Well, it'll be very interesting to see how President Ramaphosa indeed, analyzes or how he views whether the national shutdown by the EFF was a success or not. We know that, of course, there are opposing views. The economic freedom fighters say indeed it was a success, and of course, government would have you believe that it was not a success because nothing was necessarily shut down, according to the ministers that were part of that joint, security cluster that was organizing, if you will, the reaction to that. So President Ramaphosa will certainly note that, or is expected to certainly note that, and see what's the way forward. President Ramaphosa would be expected to see, what the challenges that led to that particular nationwide shutdown or protest are, and the chief amongst those would be, of course, the issue of energy security. Of course, he has set up a new cabinet position, including, or of course, in the form of the National Ministry of Energy. And even here in the Northern Cape, driving up to De Aar, one can only see can already see, Michelle, the plans that are in place. It's something that President Ramaphosa has alluded to in many speeches across the country whenever he has spoken on a public platform addressing the issue of the energy crisis, and those are solar farms. It was quite a sight to behold driving past vast swaths of open land, but everywhere you see those black solar panels. Even here where we are in De Aar, the street lights are actually lit up by solar panels. So during the day, the solar panels draw the energy of the sun, store it, and at night the street lamps then illuminate the streets. So it is certainly a plan in action that one would see. But when one looks at the program as it kicks off at 11 o'clock, we are expected that President Ramaphosa will be joined by various government luminaries. That includes, of course, the Premier of the Northern Province, that's Dr. Zamani Soul, and then we also have messages of support from people including Correctional Services Minister, that will be Ronald Lamola, and then we've also got Minister Zizi Koto, who will be speaking. That's the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture. So it'll be very interesting to see exactly what those issues the various ministers will be touching about, particularly Minister of Justice. You can expect that he would also have something to say about the national shutdown, particularly on the issues of those tires that were confiscated, and particularly on the issues of those allegations that buses or other private property were attacked by those who were protesting. Certainly would see whether the minister there would put it squarely on the doorstep of the EFF, or would put it as those forces, as the EFF would put it, that were trying to hijack what was a legitimate protest. Michelle.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we can't deny the setting in which this address takes place. The Northern Cape as a province has its own unique challenges, Tumaole. Water issues, sewage spillages has dogged the province for many, many years, challenges in the healthcare sector, and various other service delivery issues as well. It's very interesting. It will be very interesting to hear whether the President goes deeply into addressing the challenges that just residents of that province have on this Human Rights Day.
Absolutely, Michelle, and one can certainly expect that President Ramaphosa will hit directly at the core of the issues that affect the people of the Northern Cape. It must be noted that the Northern Cape is a vast province, and certainly the President will be expected to highlight exactly what government's plan is on the issues of the sewage spillage, on the issues of unemployment, the unequal development, because of course with the Northern Cape being so vast, most of it is not habitable or is not inhabited. So what's the plan to ensure that the province generates more for its people, and those people that do live here in the Northern Cape, the towns are so far apart. Spatial development is also a key challenge. Therefore, this will be something that everyone will be looking to the president to see what the plans are. The aging infrastructure. Aging infrastructure is actually a problem right across the country, Michelle. Of course, the issue of the sewerage, in terms of sewerage and water infrastructure, a key problem. In such a water-scarce province, what is the long-term plan? We know that, of course, over the last couple of weeks, more towards the east of the country, I beg your pardon, more towards the east of the country, that's right. We've had those heavy downpours because of the cyclones in the east of the country there, towards, Gauteng, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, even with the heavy flooding there. So certainly a lot of water coming that side of the world. We know that, of course, there are very many rivers that flow through towards the Northern Cape that have been fed by those particular torrential downpours. What is the plan to store that water and redistribute it? So this will be something that we'll be looking very close to see what the president's vision in terms of investment as well, direct investment to try and create jobs and to prevent a brain drain where people then leave for other provinces in search of greener pastures. So these are all issues that would be very important on the Human Rights Day, because of course one of the human rights, apart from having a good place to live, having access to those government services, would also a right to dignity, and employment is one of those key issues that gives a person that feeling of dignity, of being able to provide for their families and being able to provide for themselves and create a livelihood and a sustainable future for themselves and their loved ones.
Mohlaoli, thanks very much indeed. On the streets of De Aar there, ahead of the President's official Human Rights Day commemoration taking place in the Northern Cape on this Tuesday.